Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, what I want to share with you is my long-term ownership review. So I've been 2 years now of this Range Rover Velar behind me. So 2 years, it's put some work in, and I want to share with you all the highs and the lows of what's been going on with this car. So let's have a look at the inside. Right, so let's talk a bit more about the Velar then. So as I said, I've had it 2 years and I think it's been just over 20,000 miles. It's done some good trips, some long trips. I've got Ollie here as well, so he's going to ask me some questions about the car. So yeah, if you haven't seen the other episodes, I think I did a 9-month a collection, and then something after my trip. So yeah,
we did problems as well, anything
yeah,
because this was a 2019, so we did a video of what problems to look for, like the timing chains. So if you want to know about that, then check out that video as well. Just to let you guys know, we release an episode every single Friday. Next week we check out the Kia Exceed, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.
Okay, yeah, fire away with some questions then.
Okay, firstly, how many miles has it done now today? What's it say?
So at the minute it's on just over 60,000 miles, so I literally went over 60,000 this morning.
Yeah, and last time we did our 9-month ownership review, I think you took it to Scotland and we spoke about the roof rack you put on.
Oh yeah, so I had a bit of trouble finding a roof rack because this specific Velar doesn't have roof rails, so I had to get a roof rack. Basically the actual mechanism like goes on the side of the actual car.
Did you scratch it up? I remember you saying you scratched it.
So there was a little mark on it that it left, so I wasn't overly happy with it, but it did the job. I've still got the
stuff
for it, so yeah.
You'd still put it on again?
Yeah, it's going to come on another trip very soon. So yeah, maybe to Scotland again, but that was a big trip. That was over 1,000 miles. Yeah. Over the couple of weeks, and it handled it really well. The car was really comfortable. On long journeys, like, it's a great car. Let's
talk about problems then, because on the 9-month ownership review until now, you didn't have any problems really with it, did you?
No, literally it's been absolutely fine.
But now
services is every like 2 years, so now it says it's due a service in 1,000 miles. One thing I don't like is that you can't see the service history on the car, so no matter what settings I go into, you can't see it. In the menu system, I can't find a way to see the service history, which is a bit annoying, so you can't really see what's been done with it. Yeah. With my BMW, you can see that. So today it's given me, I've got an engine light, an amber engine light on, so I don't really know what that is. Yeah. A little while ago, I had like an emissions fault where it said it didn't release the AdBlue or something.
It'd be like the EGR valve issues.
Yeah, but that seems to have disappeared, but I've still got the engine light on, so I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's running fine. Other than that, I keep having tyre pressure, which is like a standard maintenance thing, I guess.
Have you cleared it, and does it just come on, or have you checked your pressures?
The tyre pressure thing came up today. Another problem I had was this second screen in the middle.
Let's have a look.
Scratch on this screen.
I remember that day. He climbed over with his big clumpy Frankenstein boots.
So what happened on that day is I was on holiday with my family in Salcombe, if anyone knows that area. And Salcombe is very famous for having zero parking. So it's got a lot of tourists with like not enough parking basically. And I had to squeeze in this tiny spot where I was right next to a massive wall, so I couldn't get out my side. So I had to climb over, get out the passenger side, and I did have my Doc Martin boots on. And I was trying to be careful, but I managed to scuff this screen, which I'll try and show you. So if anyone out there knows any secret tips on how to get rid of that, that would be much appreciated. I
think I saw you do it as well when we were filming once, and because it's quite wide, isn't it, when you get your leg over, that you catch your big boot.
Catch me big boot.
Has it been a good car? Has there been times where you thought, with all the noise in the media of Range Rover Velars, insurance, you know, there's loads of stuff we could talk about really, has your insurance premium gone up?
So I think it was last year. Anyway, there was a period of time where it did go up quite a lot. It almost doubled, and I couldn't really get rid of the car at the time, so I had to just pay it basically. Yeah. But since then, luckily, it has dropped back down.
Oh, that's good then.
So that is good.
By how much? A couple hundred?
Yeah, at least.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, it did drop quite a bit, which was nice. But yeah, there is a lot of like obviously reviews and bad press about Range Rover reliability. Yeah. Touch wood, I haven't really got any other wood. This has been absolutely fine regards to major issues. It all seems to be running fine. I've kept it topped up with oil, which I think is quite important with these Range Rovers.
And service, did you say, can you remember when you last had it serviced? So you got 60,000 miles on there.
So I don't think I've had it serviced. It says, I think it's every 20,000 miles. So that's why it's due now.
Yeah, it's probably due a service, yeah.
So I don't think I have. No.
I probably would have done it, knowing what Range Rovers are like, I probably would have done it a bit earlier than that, but you've been all right. This is known for a lot of electrical faults as well, which we speak about other faults in other videos. But have you had any faults or glitches with the infotainment?
No, I mean, literally the first time it happened the other day was I was doing some deliveries in the car.
Yeah.
And I did like a 4-hour round trip of these areas, and I was stopping like every hour or so. And on one of the restarts, the screens just didn't come back on.
Yeah, okay.
For ages, so it just sort of stayed with the Land Rover logo on it for a good while, and then I restarted it and it worked.
Yeah, I've heard stories like that and the camera staying stuck on, but doing a restart normally helps it.
Normally helps it. The door handles, they've all been absolutely fine, no complaints there. Giving you a real world experience of what this car looks like, because it hasn't been cleaned, it's stayed dirty, it's so muddy near where I live. So let's have a look around the outside. So the design of this is still pretty good. I do enjoy the design of it still. I feel like it hasn't really aged. So you can see the back, obviously it's grubby, but you can see it still looks nice. All the door handles are out, so that looks good. Coming round the side, you've got the wheels. I haven't managed to scuff any of these wheels because they've got quite thick tyres on. Around the front, this car does actually have it wasn't maybe on the other side a couple of scratches, which it came with unfortunately, but you can see it's been a little bit off-roading. You can see a little bit of condensation in the middle there because it's a little bit cold, but yeah, it still looks pretty good. What do you think, Ollie?
It's dirty. It's always been dirty. I think the only time I ever saw it new and clean was when you first got it, but I was really excited. I love that you got the R Dynamic, because I really like the front bumper of the R Dynamic, and I think I've always been a fan of diesels, so the D180 is really good. But you've kept it pretty well on the outside. There's no big scuffs, is there?
No, but you can have a look on the inside here. So this is where the kids sit, and they just sort of ruin the leather a little bit, but that'll all clean out. It'll all clean out.
Also, let's show them how, because I had a few questions on how to turn on the animated driving running lights, like the daytime running lights at the front. Yeah. So we'll go through and just show you quickly what they look like. All right, so as you can see here, this indicator light is going, it's like pulsing from right to left. The hazards are on at the moment, but some people, they'll have the setting where it's not doing that animation. So all you need to do is, to see if you've got it in your Velar, just go into your dash.
Okay, so you go to vehicle settings in your menu, and then you go down to exterior lighting, and then you go to direction indicator, then you've got normal or animated there. I think it is only the 2019 and after have it, so you have to let me know if that's right.
Yeah, I think, well, it might depend on the trim level as well. R Dynamic, they're probably an option, but that's a great way to just check, to go into the vehicle settings, because if you don't have the animated option, then you know you haven't got that spec'd on your car.
After 2 years, I normally start to get a bit fidgety and wanting to change it. So
what would you change it for if you were thinking about that?
I honestly have no idea.
Because we were saying, you said to me when we've been driving some new cars like Kias and so forth, you could see why Range Rover people have moved across. Yeah,
I can see why Range Rover have moved across. But what's funny with the pricing of Range Rovers is they've all dropped so much that you almost sort of have to go into another Range Rover, because it's the only car that you know that's also now quite cheap.
Yeah.
So because these dropped quite a lot, so has the sports, so it makes sense to go from a Velar to a Sport, because they've dropped in price quite a lot, and it's quite a good jump. I mean, personally, I like the X5.
Yeah.
So if I could, I would try and get into one, but it just comes down to money.
Yeah.
They're a bit more expensive. So yeah, the boot is quite good on this car. It does fit quite a bit in. I'd say it's definitely plenty big enough for a family. If you've got 2 kids, you can fit a really big buggy in there and some shopping, so you're gonna have no trouble there. But yeah, what do you think of the Velar? Because I'm interested.
I've always loved the car. I know I've always loved the exterior of it, because it kind of started off a new trend of fancy lights, and the Range Rover take a lot of the Range Rover Sport took a lot of design cues from it. Even the new Evoque, because the Velar was like the cool kid, wasn't it? And then all the other new Range Rovers started to come out. So it's always been a really cool car and a good mid-size. And in terms of cost, it's a great car to go for if you can't quite get the Range Rover Sport. Just so people know, and if it's the first video they've seen, how much money did you buy this car for?
Okay, so list price when I got the car 2 years ago was just shy of 40k. And that was on a PCP. I got it and I traded in my other car, which ended up being like £5,000 I managed to get as the deposit or whatever.
What's your monthly payment?
Monthly payment is just over 400, I think.
Just over £400 a month, right? Okay.
So yeah, £400 a month over 4 years.
Yeah.
And that was with, I think it was with 10,000
deposit.
10,000 miles
on
the PCP.
Tell them, because I know what your settlement agreement was if you paid, if you want to keep the car, because on the PCP.
So I got a statement the other day, and it said if I wanted to settle it today, I'd have to pay 31,000.
31k
as a settlement fee. Obviously, it works out. It's coming off about 10,000. No. It basically after the 4 years, my settlement's going to be 20,000. So
right, yeah, because you'll pay a little bit more. Knowing that, would you pay 20k to keep it, or let me know what you guys would do? Yeah,
I mean, at the minute, I think a lot of Range Rover owners are stuck in the sense that the prices have dropped more than their settlement payment's going to be, so they end up going to have to pay more money to get out of the agreement, or just give the car back at the end of the agreement, which I think what most people will do. But normally with a PCP, you're going to end up with a bit of equity that you can put towards your next car.
Yeah.
But it's just not happening at the minute in the way that prices are. So I'm hoping they do come back up again a little bit. So we'll have to see what happens.
Land Rover State, Range Rover, 48, because it's the D180 2-litre Ingenium diesel engine. They said that this can get 48.2 mpg, which is a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot, and it does fool a lot of people in the sense that, oh, you're going to get this car and it'll be really economical. But
what have you got?
Really
you got on your trip? Show us on your trip so we can see real life.
I reset the trip when I last filled up, which is actually about 300 miles ago.
Yeah, take this. Show them the dash.
So it's done 278 miles here, and you can see it's averaged 36.5 mpg. So that gives you a really good indication of what mpg you can expect. Okay, so that's been our episode on my 2-year review of this car. So far, so good. I mean, I'll have to give you an update next year on when I do eventually get rid of it, and whatever I get next, you'll be the first to know. So yeah, don't forget to get subbed and throw us a like if you like the episode, and we'll see you on the next one.
If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.